Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video I'm going to be creating the cutest Olaf nail set, perfect for Christmas, winter, or anyone who loves a touch of Disney magic. Now let's get into it. We're starting with getting our palette of white, orange, grey and black, and then we're just setting up our inspo picture here. So we're just going to get straight into it with our white. So we're going to be creating Olaf's head shape. Now I'm just trying to work out here where to start. So I'm going to start with where his eyes and eyebrow area is, just shaping that out. And then we're going in and doing his like tops of his cheeks down to his chin, because he's got that nice big smile. And then once we've worked out the shape, we're just going to fill that all in. Now later in the video I actually decided I needed to make his top of his head a little bit bigger, so I started doing like his eyebrows, and then I was like, it's just not working, so we're just gonna have to, you know, go in and extend his head a little bit more. Next we're just doing his first little round bit of his shoulders and I guess his chest area, I suppose. This is where the first button is going to be. Once we're happy with that, we will cure that for 60 seconds. Next off, I've got my grey, and I apologise here, I did not realise it was going out of focus, but we're just doing his little eye area, and then we're starting off with his smile. I like to go in with grey before I go in with black, just so I don't, I guess, make a big mistake and then it's harder to clean, but I just find grey, or you could use a light brown. Grey will work better because I'm actually going to use the grey, especially under his eye area, where you can kind of see his little smile indents, I guess you could say, for his eyes. Anyway, I'm also marking out his teeth and his little, you know, part where obviously his head, it disconnects from his chest area. And then I'm just using my brush and I'm kind of just like, without any product on it, blending down that line so it's not such a harsh line and gives kind of like a shadow effect. You can see here I'm flicking it up, giving a softer appearance. Again, I'm sorry it's not clear, but there it is there. And I believe we're going to go cure that, or we already have cured that. Yes, we have. We've cured that, and now we're going to go in with the black, and we're just going to follow that shape there and just line all around, marking out his teeth again. I do decide his teeth look a bit too big, so I go back in and I kind of make them shorter. He looked a little bit too Bugs Bunny, so we're just going to fill in that area. Now notice when I do these, my pinky finger is my anchor. This just allows me to be really steady, especially with doing such tiny work. Next I'm going to go ahead and do his little button. We decided, because my client's nails are short, we're not going to do a full scale Olaf, we were just going to do from his chest up. And this is when I start to do his eyes. I don't know what was happening. I did not particularly like his eyes. I don't know why. Let me know in the comments if you think I could have done better. I probably could have done better. This client of mine, she loves all this really intricate designs. As you can see there, I decided to do 2 little strokes of eyebrows, and I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. So I made his head bigger. I did cure this, so I'm going over with my white and completely covering the eyebrow, making his head bigger. The best thing about this white gel polish is it is super pigmented, so you can go over black and it pretty much covers it. To kind of make up for making his top of his head bigger, I go ahead and make his cheeks a little bit bigger too. So I'm going to go in and do his pupils. And then I'm just going to do his eyebrows. I then decided I'm just going to do like 1 eyebrow hair. I wasn't going to do 2 eyebrow hairs. And they're kind of sweeping a little bit. I just think that was a little bit of a cuter look. Almost like, I don't know. It was just vibing. Anyway, now we're going to do the tops of his hair. He's got a couple of little puffs of hair on the top there, so we're just going to create those and cure that, and this is just me showing you how it's looking so far. Don't mind my client, we were probably laughing at this point. But anyway, now we're going on to his nose. Now, because he's facing straight towards the camera, his nose does just look like a button. If he was facing more towards the side, you would obviously make him look like he's got a carrot on his nose. But the photo we had was pretty much exactly that. I'm then just using that grey again, going in and just defining his little smile line, and under his, I guess you could call them his cheeks, the tops of his cheeks. Just defining that a little bit more, and this is when I decided his teeth were too big. So I went ahead there and just used the black. Then we decided, do you know what, let's put little arms on him and let's, make him look like he's shouting hooray. Because, it's Christmas and everyone loves Christmas. Now, my clients had these sort of designs before, and we always liked when we did a matte top coat rather than a gloss top coat. So that's what we're going to do after this step. Once it's cured for 60 seconds, we're going to apply our top coat. There's just something about these cartoon characters. See, that's shiny. I don't know why. Shiny just does not give the same effect. So we went in with matte. Anyway, now we're going to go in and make some jagged icicle type effect. And we're not going to cure this. We're actually going to find a white or iridescent glitter. And we're going to pour that over while it's wet. So then once we cure it and all the gel is solid, the glitter will stay attached to the gel polish, and you just brush off the excess. So as you can see here, just grabbing my favourite white glitter, iridescent glitter, probably got it from a $2 shop, so please, just find something that you like, nice and fine. Now I'm going in with the Timeless by Nail Co gel polish, just to create some candy canes. And I also wanted to do a swirl on the thumb. So we're just going to go ahead and just do anything that has, so we're not changing the colour on our brush every 2 seconds, anything that is gold, go ahead and do that. And then you're going to get the white liner, sorry, not the white liner, the white gel polish, because it's as pigmented as a gel liner, and just create those little white lines on the candy cane. Then I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to do a little sparkle. I normally do a dotting tool for the center of a sparkle, but I've actually been enjoying just getting a little dollop of white on the tip of my brush and applying that on the nail carefully, and then swiping out to do my little sparkle. We're now going to do a snowflake. I believe it gets quite fuzzy here, so I do apologise. If you want me to make another video on how I do my snowflakes, please let me know. I just don't know what happened, whether my camera has been a pain, or it was probably just my angle and it's trying to focus on my hand in the front. We're just going to create right here some little V shapes on the smaller parts of the snowflake. And that's just going to give a really cute effect. After that, we just do a few more little sparkles. As you can see, I just applied a little dollop like I would with a dotting tool for the center of the sparkle. And I just do my little up the top, down the bottom, to the side. And then we're going to just dot some little sparkles there. There we go. Now we're going to go on to our snowflake. This is our biggest snowflake on this finger. So we just do 1 dot in the center, 2 above that, 2 below that, and 2 to either side. And then we also put 1 in the center of those 2 imaginary lines, making a little crisscross. As you do it, feather the tip of the edge of the snowflake so it kind of fans out or flicks out, and it just gives a softer result. on this one it's quite intricate, so we end up doing I think 2 lines or 1 line on the first lines we did. Yeah, we do like a little V shape. And I'm just trying to remember. Oh yeah, we did end up doing 2 little V's. So we go around and we do 2 little V's. And then on the shorter lines we do, oh yes, 2 little V's again. Sorry guys, I am the worst with voiceovers. I'm trying to remember what steps I did, so apologies there. So we're going to cure that, and then we end up putting a little dot of the same glittery gel polish on those points where we did the white dots. I actually decided that I wanted to go in and do bigger dots, like bigger white dots. So here I'm just making the dots very, very distinct, and then we cure that, and then I went through and I put the timeless dots back in because the white dots weren't big enough. Anyway, then she decided she wanted to actually put some white glitter on the thumb as well. So I ended up re-putting a few little wet white dots and doing the glitter on the thumb as well, just to tie it all together. Pretty much that's it for that one, guys. So now we're just doing a top coat on all of them except the middle one, because of course we already mattified that one, and I did love how the matte finger turned out. Let me know what you guys think of this, and again, apologies for the blurriness. I will try to do better, I promise. And that is the end result. Please let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next, and please help me on my camera skills because they are horrible. No, anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel so I can keep creating these nail educational videos. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye.